An American warship and multiple commercial vessels were attacked by Iranian-backed rebels in the Red Sea over the weekend. KT McFarland joins us now. Is the war spreading, KT?
Yeah, and frankly, it's a miracle that no Americans have been killed so far.
Yeah.
You know, Iran doesn't have a foreign military. It has proxies. It has Hezbollah, it has Hamas, it has the Houthis, and that's who's attacking American interests, American vessels, American installations. And until the United States goes to the source, not Iran, but to the source of all these attacks and blows them up, it's going to continue until Americans die. And then we do have an escalated situation.
The Wall Street Journal details the 2,000-pound bunker buster bombs that we're sending to assist Israel as they move in on Gaza. Biden says we're pushing for a ceasefire. But here we're giving them these bunker-busting bombs and at the same time saying, oh, please cease fire. It seems like a contradiction, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's schizophrenic. You know, on one hand, we're giving Israel the bunker buster bombs to go after the tunnels. That's what they're there for, to destroy the tunnels. But we're saying, but don't use them. Or if you use them, make sure that no civilians get killed. It's not Israel that's killing civilians. It's Hamas that's killing civilians. Hamas is killing its own civilians. And that's the narrative that they've managed to blame it all on Israel. It's not Israel, it's Hamas. Hamas wants its own people to die. It wants its own people to die so it can show to the world, look, it's Israel. They can say it's Israel that's killing all of them. And what their real goal is to divide the Hamas, Hamas wants to divide Israel from the United States. They want to do what's starting to happen, which is that Biden is kind of walking away from them, is urging a ceasefire, urging Israel to stop the fighting before Israel has a chance to finish the job.
Do you think Israel will back off? I don't. It looks to me like they're going to crush Hamas, and they're going to do it no matter what.
I agree. I think that Israel has no choice. You know, it's not just if you get rid of Hamas for a little while and then Hamas comes back again, kills some more civilians. It's called the mowing the grass approach, which is that Hamas builds up, then attacks Israel. Israel goes back and destroys a couple of Hamas military sites. Everything's fine for a year or two until the grass grows back up. Hamas starts it again. After those October 7th attacks, Israel's not going to do that anymore. No more mowing the grass. They're going to go and they've got to eliminate and eradicate Hamas. It's not only for Israel's sake, it's frankly for the whole region's sake. It's for the Palestinian people. How are the Palestinian people aided by an organization that controls them, that wants them to die? Makes no sense. Israel, let them finish the job. They're doing the world a favor. Eradicate Hamas, and then let's talk about what's next.
Exactly. What is next? When Israel has eradicated Hamas, who runs Gaza?
Well, you know, that's a question for not only Israel, but it's a question for the region, and it's a question for the world. For the, you know, what is there going to be a ceasefire? Is there going to be a UN-protected ceasefire? Probably not. That hasn't worked very effectively in the past. Is it going to be that the wealthy Arab countries in the region, Saudis, Qatar, others, come in and say, all right, we're going to take some Palestinian citizens into our own territories, or we're going to have an oversight government that then helps to develop the Palestinian economy? Nobody knows the answer to this. And frankly, as long as Hamas is in charge, nobody will address the issue. It's got to be solved by the region. The one thing that would be the worst of all is if the United States, the Biden administration says, come on in, you know, to have all the Palestinians come to the United States and spread the violence. It's got to stop, and it's got to stop, and the solution is in the region, whether it's Egypt takes some of them, whether Jordan takes some of them, whether some remain and are given some kind of a livelihood to make a viable Palestinian state. Any one of those could happen, but nothing happens as long as Hamas is in charge.
You don't really think that a lot of Palestinians would come to America, do you? Would they let that? Would Biden do that?
Think about it. Really? You know, if Biden, look at how they've got an open southern border. They're encouraging by their open southern border, by turning that southern border over to the hands of human traffickers. We have an open southern border. Why? I don't see why the Biden administration, in their crazy thinking, is going to say, oh, no, don't come here, or we're going to vet them. You can't vet them. That's the problem. Hamas controls whatever records there are. When you try to vet, when we've seen in other administrations, you try to vet who's coming into the United States, unless you have a reliable source back home that is saying, okay, this is John. He lived at this address, and here's his background, and here's his livelihood, and this is the connections. Unless you have the ability to do that, you don't know who you're taking in. And that's taking them in legally. How many people are going to come in illegally?
Good question. KT McFarland, great stuff. Thank you very much for joining us, KT. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you.